Welcome to another episode of Demented Collective. Today we're talking about Don't Go in the Woods from 1981. As you can see, I'm alone today. Garrett, he got called last night and he had to leave town this morning on a trip to go to a different state. So we should have him back next week. But until then, you get to deal with me. So, we watched Don't Go in the Woods from 1981. I'll probably end up doing this similar to my Bad Movies Deep Dive channel, where I just make fun of movies, and it's just me making fun of movies, kind of riffing on them in the clips and everything like that. If you want to check that out, that'd be cool. I'll put the link down there. Don't Go in the Woods, 1981. But I'm not going to riff this one as hard, because this is more casual. We open with a scared girl running through the woods. I don't know why she's running. Then we get a birdwatcher, who gets hit in the face with something, and then his arm gets chopped off. It's actually kind of cool. Speaking of, there's a lot of blood in this movie, and it's bright red, so it's obvious that it's fake. But because of rules on this platform, I don't know how much I'm going to be able to show, so I'm going to play it by ear as I edit. Hopefully I can get some good stuff in. The special effects on the arm are chef's kiss. We meet the main group of hikers. There's 4 of them, 2 women, 2 guys. But what happened to the girl at the beginning? They don't tell you what happens to the girl at the beginning. You just kind of have to assume that she died. And I want to point something out. This is considered to be a cult classic. For some reason. To me, this is a great movie. To you, it might not be. So, anyways, cut to a weird couple in matching pink for some reason. And I'm thinking we need people for body cams now. And that kind of becomes a thing in this movie. The guy gets killed. He's thrown off a waterfall. And there's not kids, but young adults playing in the water near the bottom. And they don't notice the body. The body is laying like 10 feet from them. And they don't notice. Back to the campers. They're yapping about camping. Now we meet some cops.
If any of my bears come into town, then you can arrest them. Otherwise, us county mounties will take care of them.
For the in county business, Jesse. The sheriff will take care of everything outside the city limits. We're city. He's county.
So this is a clown cop station, right? They figure the deaths are a bear. Because there's a weird bear joke from the guy who sounds kind of feminine. So I think this is 1981 humor and making fun of gay people. Because he says something about bears. I don't know. It was 1981. Who knows what was going on with those kind of jokes and things like that. So, whatever. Fat cop. He's perving on a roller skating girl. Back to the campers telling scary stories at night. They tell some stories. And we jump to a couple making out in a van in the woods. The gal hears a noise, and Dick goes to check it out. Yeah, his name's Dick. Oh, early 80s. You never hear anyone named Dick anymore, do you? What's that about? It used to be a nickname for Richard. I don't know why you wouldn't just call him Rich. But like in the 50s, if you go and watch those old shorts and stuff, I'm doing a tangent. I gotta bring Garrett in here somehow. I'm doing a tangent. So if you go back and watch those old shorts, like half the kids in the shorts are named Dick. Like, come on over here, you Dick. It's great. It's funny. Dick gets killed, and his head gets thrown against the van window. And then we get to see the van tip over. It catches fire, and this chick is roasted inside. Cut to a mom painting. She's doing like a landscape painting with her kid and like some bouncy thing in the woods for some reason. She gets stabbed through the painting, and then the toddler disappears. What's that about? And from this point on, they don't reference this. Or do they? Main campers again. One freaks out. He sees a guy in the woods, gets scared, he's running, it feels like he's being chased, but it's a fake out. Just some hippie cruising down the trails. The guy who got faked out, though, gets pissed off that everyone's kind of laughing at him and that sort of thing, and he goes off on his own, goes solo in the woods. And know the actual reason why. I'm assuming it's because people are kind of teasing him. And it was, I don't know. I guess for the movie, they're just making that happen. Cut to a new couple. No meeting them. Straight to killing. We don't know who they are. We don't know their names. They don't really speak a word to each other. Straight to the killing. The girl gets strung up in a tree. In her sleeping bag, it gets beaten like a piñata. That's actually pretty cool. But I'm thinking they stole it from Friday the 13th. Because this is 81. Friday the 13th. Oh, I can't remember if that kill is from part 1 or part 2. Ooh, I wonder who did it first. I'm curious. Let me know if you know. The guy gets sliced. He gets diced in his sleeping bag. Of course. So I'm realizing now why this movie is considered a cult classic. It's not the acting. It's not the writing. Oh, it's not the writing. No, not for sure. It's not the editing. It's the kills. It's kill after kill after kill. That's pretty much most of this movie. There's not a whole lot of plot. Slasher guy kills campers. That's pretty much it. Were there cops in this movie? Also, I think there were. Guy who went off solo is enjoying some time. He's down by the river. Fisherman sees him. But he sees the killer. The fisherman sees the killer standing above the guy who went solo. Like on a cliff kind of thing. Fisherman gets a bear trap to the face. Killer's chasing the solo guy now. A camper. We cut to the campers again. Camper plays a prank on a girl. This is a prank. He strings her up in a sleeping bag. She pokes a hole in it. That sort of thing. And this guy's like, he's yelling, bitch bag, or something like that at her. Like, say uncle. This is a prank? Dude, the early 80s are wild. She kind of rips open the sleeping bag and sees the killer starting to come towards them. And she's freaking out. So the guy who played the prank is stabbed in the gut. Girl gets out of the sleeping bag and runs for it. Other girl comes to investigate and sees blood. Solo guy comes back. Everyone knows there's a killer now. The girl in blue finds a cabin and she ends up getting macheted to death. And that's a lot of blood. And this is the point where I'm kind of like, I don't know if I can show this one. She's drenched. The whole screen is lit up with this bright blood, and it's actually kind of fun and cool. Oh, hey, the cops are back. Remember them? They're back in the movie. And they're setting up a search party. Oh, boy. We got a guy in a wheelchair with goofy music. Hutter. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. And he tips over. And you know something's going to happen to him. But the question is, how's it going to happen? That's what I like about these movies. How's it going to happen? You know it's going to happen. How's it going to happen? There's no way it beats the Friday the 13th wheelchair death. Oh, that's one of the best in cinema history, I'll tell you. The sheriff ends up finding the cabin now. And then we get a long scene of him looking through it. Everyone is back together now and still looking around. Cut to the wheelchair guy getting his head chopped off. So they built him up, and our payoff is him getting his head knocked off. And it's a good one. It's not bad. I like it. It's fun. Now we're back to wandering around. Everyone's wandering around in the woods. It's just a lot of wandering around right now. Solo guy gets attacked by the killer, and Redhead comes running in with a machete. Solo guy throws a spear at the killer, gets him in the shoulder. You think he's dead. He's not dead. He runs at them. Guy throws a stick at his legs, like it hits him in the shin. Killer falls over. The guy starts beating him with a stick, and the girl runs up and starts beating him with a machete. And he's a bloody mess. Then the cops roll up, and it looks like the cops are going to open fire on these two for saving the day kind of thing, but they don't. They don't end up doing that. Remember that toddler kid who was with the mom who was painting? The mom got stabbed through the painting. And I was like, what happened to the toddler kid? Maybe they'll come back. Okay, so the kid is shown now escaping from a box and just sitting there playing with an axe. Like hitting the dirt with an axe in the woods. Okay. How's a kid like that going to survive in the woods? This is toddler. No toddler can survive in the woods. I'd be surprised if like a 5 or 6 year old could survive in the woods. I know it has happened. There are miracles and all that sort of thing. Yes, it has happened. But in just everyday kind of thing, a toddler, I don't know. But what's awesome about this is it's 1981. That's a real axe, baby. They gave a real axe to a toddler to swing around on the dirt. I love it. And that's how it ends. So like they were setting up for a sequel. No sequel came. We didn't get one. I like the I don't know how Garrett would feel. He'd probably hate it. Well, he might like this. He tends to like some bad movies. I like it. It's the entire thing is dubbed. You're watching this about, I'd say 20 minutes, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this whole thing is dubbed. It's few and far between that you find something that's entirely dubbed, that wasn't like Italian made or Giallo or something like that. It kind of blew me away. So for this one, for a number, I would give this, if you don't like bad movies or cult classics like this, fun ones, this is probably a 3. But if you do like this sort of stuff, this is an easy 6.5. It's worth a watch. You could bring it up in a conversation. It's one of those ones you can bring up and, hey, you ever seen Don't Go Into the Woods? What was it called? Yeah, Don't Go Into the Woods. Don't Go in the Woods. And people will be like, no. And, you're like, and then you can pull that whole, well, I've seen it. You should check it out. That sort of thing. So anyways, I'm just rambling now. Going off on tangents. Garrett should be back next week. Last week at the end of our episode, we were going to do, we teased what we were going to do, something with Jared Leto. And, like, we both don't like him, but it's his best movie to us. We're doing that next week because we were supposed to do that right now. But he got an emergency. He had to leave the state for, I don't know, cops are chasing him or something. Who knows? Whatever. Anyways, hopefully he'll be back. Next week he should be. And that's it. Oh, also, Nightmare Room. We couldn't do it. He's gone. So we're coming back with the series finale of Nightmare Room reviews. That'll be up next week also. We're doing the 2-parter of the last 2 episodes. So hopefully we'll see you then. What's Garrett always say at the end of these episodes? Stay demented.